Daily Words of God. Man lives amid the flesh, which means he lives in a human hell, and without God's judgment and chastisement, man is as filthy as Satan. How could man be holy? Peter believed that chastisement and judgment by God was man's best protection and greatest grace. Only through chastisement and judgment by God could man awaken and hate the flesh and hate Satan. God's strict discipline frees man from the influence of Satan. It frees him from his own little world and allows him to live in the light of God's presence. There is not better salvation than chastisement and judgment. Peter prayed, "O God, as long as you chastise and judge me, I will know that you have not left me. Even if you do not give me joy or peace, and make me live in suffering, and inflict countless chastenings on me, as long as you do not leave me, my heart will be at ease." Today, your chastisement and judgment has become my best protection and my greatest blessing. The grace you give me protects me. The grace you bestow upon me today is a manifestation of your righteous disposition and is chastisement and judgment. Moreover, it is a trial, and more than that, it is a life of suffering. Peter was able to put aside the pleasures of the flesh and seek a deeper love and greater protection. Because he had gained so much grace from God's chastisement and judgment. In his life, if man wishes to be cleansed and achieve changes in his disposition, if he wishes to live out a life of meaning and fulfill his duty as a creature, then he must accept God's chastisement and judgment, and must not allow God's discipline and God's smiting to depart from him, so he can free himself from the manipulation and influence of Satan and live in the light of God. Know that God's chastisement and judgment is the light, and the light of man's salvation, and that there is no better blessing, grace, or protection for man. Man lives under the influence of Satan and exists in the flesh. If he is not cleansed and does not receive God's protection, then man will become ever more depraved. If he wishes to love God, then he must be cleansed and saved. Peter prayed, "God, when you treat me kindly, I am delighted and feel comfort. When you chastise me, I feel even greater comfort and joy. Although I am weak and endure untold suffering, although there are tears and sadness, you know that this sadness is because of my disobedience and because of my weakness. I weep because I cannot satisfy your desires. I feel sorrow and regret because I am insufficient for your requirements. But I am willing to attain this realm. I am willing to do all I can to satisfy you. Your chastisement has brought me protection and has given me the best salvation. Your judgment eclipses your tolerance and patience. Without your chastisement and judgment, I would not enjoy your mercy and loving kindness. Today, I see all the more that your love has transcended the heavens and excelled all. Your love is not just mercy and loving kindness. Even more than that, it is chastisement and judgment. Your chastisement and judgment has given me so much. Without your chastisement and judgment, not a single person would be cleansed, and not a single person would be able to experience the love of the Creator. Though I have endured hundreds of trials and tribulations, and have even come close to death, such suffering has allowed me to truly know you and gain supreme salvation. If your chastisement, judgment, and discipline were to depart from me, then I would live in darkness, under the domain of Satan. What benefits does the flesh of man have? If your chastisement and judgment were to leave me, it would be as if your spirit had forsaken me, as if you were no longer with me. If that were so, how could I go on living? If you give me sickness and take my freedom, I can continue living. But were your chastisement and judgment to leave me, I would have no way to go on living. If I were without your chastisement and judgment, I would have lost your love, a love that is too deep for me to put into words. Without your love, I would live under the domain of Satan and would be unable to see your glorious face. How, say you, could I continue living? Such darkness, such a life, I could not stand to endure. Having you with me is like seeing you, so how could I leave you? I implore you, I beg you not to take my greatest comfort from me, even if it is just a few words of reassurance. I have enjoyed your love, and today I cannot be away from you. How, say you, could I not love you? I have shed many tears of sorrow because of your love. Yet I have always felt that a life such as this is more meaningful, more able to enrich me, more able to change me, and more able to allow me to attain the truth that should be possessed by the creatures.